You are listening to the Wild Man Podcast.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, choosing the Wild Man Podcast. Today, my guest is, if you care to introduce yourself and what band you're part of.
Sure. Eric Linneman, and I'm the singer for Forgetting Tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us today. So, my first question for you is, and it's always the first question for everybody, is what influenced you to do music?
Really to do music, I guess for a long time I was, pretty fascinated and really drawn to, heavy music in general. I think like my first concert I went to, I was in like fourth or fifth grade. I went to see Metallica play with Danzig and Suicidal Tendencies. Um, Immediately wanted to be in on that. My brother was into, used to be into heavy music. So, I'm the little brother, so I kind of follow what he was doing. I wound up going to that concert with, funny enough, it was like he, my mom, my dad, and him. My mom never went to another show after that. She like showed up wearing like a flower dress, and my brother and I were kind of embarrassed, but even though we're like little kids, but anyway, since then, like kept on going, I kind of like was really drawn to it at the time. I mean, it was Metallica's Black Album. That was the tour it was for also. So, it was a good intro to heavier music. So I wound up going to that and then really kind of branching off into other bands. Naturally, I think it's like, you see Metallica, then you go, you start listening to Megadeth and, maybe Maiden or some of the Anthrax and these other bands. Really, as I kind of gone through it, I was looking for something a little different, kept on branching off into other styles. Wound up starting to listen to like, bands like Biohazard, some of the more local bands, at the time where I'd say like E-Town, Second to None, some of the more hardcore on the hardcore side with it. And then in death metal, it's like Morbid Angel with like Blessed Are the Sick, Domination, bands like that. Really got drawn into it and then even new metal too. So, I was like, listen to bands like System of a Down, Slipknot, bands like that also. Really just all genres of heavy music, really. Not really discriminating against like, hey, that's new metal, I don't want to listen to it. It's just everything under the sun. So then, really, I was really drawn to it. And then in about like, then also I was trying to like, I was young and, my parents didn't want to pay for all the concerts. So, I started looking for ways to get kind of like, how can I go in for free, and get CDs for free as a kid? That was like my biggest expense. So I started writing an online magazine when I was in, I think it was like eighth grade, seventh or eighth grade. I started writing one, started interviewing bands, taking a lot of photos, doing CD reviews, and I did that for quite a while. I wound up like, and then, I kind of wanted to go beyond that, and that's when I really started to play in bands. So with my friends that, while I was in high school, four of my closest friends and I, we started a band. And we played, we got to play some shows, played with Hatebreed, played with God Forbid a few times. We even shared a practice space with them for a while. And then, really kind of just ran like the local, I guess, hardcore circuit for a bit with that. And then once that band dissolved, got into Forgetting Tomorrow. And then, that kind of took it to another level with it. It's just been kind of a fascination with the music, with the culture around it. It's a very supportive scene in New Jersey. So, that's always fun. A little element of danger too. So I don't know, especially, that's always kind of, it's dangerous, but it also kind of brings you, kind of draws me in a little bit more too. And then from there, it's like playing and Forgetting Tomorrow. Then we've been playing, played for quite a while, probably like 7-ish years, took a long break. But then, we're back into it again, at least more recently now. So it's kind of been with me for quite a while and, just been always drawn to it, always listening to it. So.
Thank you. So like I know New Jersey has that divine scene. Like you guys got like bands like Waking Cadaver out of Jersey, uh, uh Tripping. Then you got like you guys have like the best scene out there. Like Float Face Downs from out there. And how would you say like the East Coast compared to like the West Coast or the Southern region or the Midwest? How would you say the East Coast is different from like every other area of the United States?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like one thing, at least on like the East Coast, living in New Jersey especially, I'd say we're kind of in like a perfect spot because as opposed to like other areas of the country, we have like, I mean, I could see New York City from my bedroom window. Even though it's 20 miles away, I could still see it there. We get tours that come into New York City. I can be at a different venue within 2 hours, see a tour no matter what, who's coming through where. The other thing is like I know with New Jersey, it's like it's kind of like, kind of watching over the years with with metal and hardcore scenes, really watching a lot of involvement, where I know like at least from when I started, kind of going to shows in like, the I'd say like mid to late 90s up until now. It's kind of interesting, back like I was saying that Element of Danger. I mean, I used to wind up going to shows at, Birch Hill or the Stone Pony or Casino Skate Park, a lot of these different venues. And yeah, there was like a lot of fights. I mean, it was pretty wild. I mean, I saw some crazy stuff, like people getting stabbed at like Club Benet, it then turned into Club Chrome, crazy stuff like that. So, really watching the involvement of it, kind of seeing how it was back then to where it is now. Now it's a lot more, I would say there's still an element of danger, but it's a lot more safe. But what makes, I'd say, New Jersey very interesting with that, and, I would say is that, we're so geographically, we're so close to so many different areas that, we wind up getting a lot of influences with a lot of different bands. There's also a lot of opportunities to play at a lot of different venues. If you're, watching the shows, I mean, you could see every tour coming in, no matter where you're going through. I mean, someone's going to play New York City or Philly or, Starland Ballroom in New Jersey or the Williams Center or, one of these other places. So yeah, I mean, I'd say like right now, I can't really compare it, I guess, to the other like markets and regions because I haven't spent a whole lot of time in those really. But I do see, like I guess I just like nowadays I just feel like it's a lot easier for bands to get to different places. And, but if they come into the Northeast, into this area, I mean, if you live in New Jersey and New York, I mean, you could get to any of those shows like pretty easily, which then creates like a much bigger scene. Bands want to come through more. And then, and it's really fun too, because, it's, you get better reactions, when bands are playing. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, I can't really guess comment to that, but I've kind of seen things change a bit, over the years. I'd say right now we're kind of in this golden years of, it's a great time, at least now, considering again, like the people that are supporting it, yeah, and all the different support and all the different, people booking things like that. So I don't know. I'd say that's really where it is. Like, you could see anything, any of the tours and any of the times you want. Yeah, the bands are coming through. So,
Oh yeah, I've only been to Philly once, and I was out there for Metal Beer Fest,
oh, nice, nice.
and I did not realize how close Philly and Jersey are really that close together because there's that bridge for Philly to get into Jersey,
Mhm.
and
Oh yeah,
I was like, I'm so tempted to drive over to Jersey, but I was just like this. At that time, I had someone else with me, and they're all like this. I'm not driving to Jersey. I was all like this. I just want to see what it's like.
yeah. I mean, and if you come into there, I mean, that's the other thing with it. Also, the scenes also wind up bleeding into other areas. So like in Philly, you have a lot of shows at First Unitarian Church. There's the Fillmore. There's a lot of different venues that are there. But then you'll wind up seeing it kind of bleeding into like South Jersey. So then those scenes, people from Philly are then going to South Jersey and vice versa. And the same thing happens in New Jersey, like once you get further north. So like, there's where Hellfest was this year. I mean, it was in a great area because, you're close to New York, New York City, everybody from New York can come in. and then also the same way going the other way, it's like, I mean, I was just at Brooklyn Monarch to see Red Chord, just a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't like a huge pain to get there. It was like maybe, I drove, which was like, I don't usually do. Usually I just take the train and it's like an hour or two, door to door.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. So I mean, yeah, depending, that's what also kind of makes it great with the area is that, again, geographically, you could be at a different major city within like 45 minutes. It makes it like pretty wild with that. So,
Oh yeah, you guys got one of the best promoters out in Jersey, I would say. Gutter.
oh yeah, yeah, he's great. Between him, Greg from Takedown Records, and then there's this other guy, Rick, that also does shows. Yeah, between the three of them, we wind up getting a lot of good stuff here. Yeah, Gutter, I know he's doing a festival, I think in May, I believe, up at Dingbats, and Dingbats is like, pretty. Yeah, it's been a venue up in North Jersey for quite a long time, and they host a lot of really good shows. So yeah, I saw God Forbid play there. I think Suffocation, Cryptopsy, a lot of good bands wind up coming through there, which is again, we're very fortunate to have those people that are booking those things.
Oh yeah. So I know you guys released the album last year. So how did that all come to be? Did you guys all write together or do you guys write individual pieces and send it to each other over like email and stuff like that?
Yeah, so the one that we put out last year, which was the self-titled, so it was so I guess I'll give you a little story around with that, how that kind of came. Um, yeah, so that one was actually written. I had put it online. Well, I guess like I'd say like what was it last year, year before? I had a lot of people asking me, asking me like, hey, when are you going to put your stuff on Spotify? When are you going to do that? We had written a lot of stuff that we never released. So when it came to, people kept on asking me for it. So I was like, all right, finally, I'll put it on Spotify. So I wound up doing that. One of the albums was the one that you're referencing, was the self-titled. That one we actually wrote it. I think it was probably recorded it in 2007 or 2008, but we just never released it. We basically we broke up. We stopped, or we never really officially broke up, but we just stopped playing, and we never really got the chance to do a real record release for it. So yeah, I just kind of snuck it on there and put it on there. But yeah, we at that time, I mean, we wrote it with the current lineup that we're playing with now. It was probably with me singing, Jeff and Travis on guitars, Austin on bass, and Brian on drums. So we had basically I was fortunate where I had very tolerant parents that we practice in their garage, and my dad would ask for his share of the beers that we were drinking, but very tolerant with that. So we actually wrote that entire album, yeah, in my parents' garage, just practicing on a weekly basis. And so we had originally tried recording with our drummer, which was actually the recording that we just released with Bachelor Party for Jesus, was just kind of an old name that we just couldn't give up. We're like, all right, that one's funny. So we put that one out. But then we also recorded the entire self-titled album with our drummer as well. We had an opportunity to then go to record with Will Putney. We knew him for a really long time. He was a longtime friend. And he was just getting his start with, working at the machine shop. So when we saw that, we were like, well, kind of can't not, we kind of can't say yes. We can't deny this, that this is going to be a great recording. So we wound up going over there. And yeah, it's amazing to be able to record in a place there where like Lamb of God, Every Time I Die, Clutch, White Zombie, like all these other bands recorded. And, to be able to like just to even be there was really an amazing opportunity. And I think everyone knows where, Will is now. I mean, playing in Better Lovers and Fit for an Autopsy, some of these really like some of I'd say like the most like some extremely influential bands, of like modern metal music. So yeah, I mean, we wound up pretty much like we all old school, we're all in the same room. We wrote the album, and then we got that amazing opportunity to record with him. So yeah, we took it over there, and that was it. And then Will had actually joined the band too for about like 9 months. He replaced Travis for about 9 months until we stopped playing. So yeah, so we were kind of we were able to also record a few other songs without vocals, but we're planning on releasing some of those songs and hopefully getting to record some vocals on it, but then at the very least get to play some of those live coming up. So yeah, so it's we were very fortunate with it, but also it worked out really well, and we're pretty happy with being able to to release some of those songs and to have those out there because it was really where we kind of like left off with the band and yeah, really with the evolving from the earlier albums into that one. So
That's absolutely crazy. I keep forgetting Will lives in Jersey.
yeah, so we've known Will for for years. Like he was in a band called Struck Down that played a lot with my first band that I played in, which was called Third Degree. And we just knew him like for years and years. And he played in a band with he also played in a band with our drummer, with Brian. He played with him for a while. And then actually, it's funny, Brian was actually in Fit for an Autopsy for during the early years also. So, it's kind of wild. There's a lot of like there's a lot of networking, a lot of interaction, and kind of like, different, I don't know, incestuous relationships between the different bands with that. Our bass player, Austin, he also played in Shattered Realm. Yeah, then Jeff played in a band with what was it? He played in a band with some other band members. I think it was with Threat to Society. He played in a band with the guitarist from there. So there's a whole lot of like shuffling of members and things. So yeah, it's pretty wild with that. But yeah, New Jersey is a small place, so everyone kind of knows each other. So
Oh yeah, I definitely like it's like I think when I first started the podcast, I'm not even gonna lie, Will was the first person I messaged,
oh yeah.
and Will was like, send an email to my PR and we'll discuss it. And I was like, okay. And she's like, I never, I, I love it now because it's like a story, like how you always don't get a yes out of every musician. And I remember she was like this, can you send me your stuff? I was like this, I don't have an episode out.
Yeah, and he's like an extremely busy person, I'm sure. Outside of like producing, he's touring and everything else. And yeah, but yeah, I know what you mean with like with starting that. When I was saying when I was doing the magazine, when I first started with that, I remember I think the first interview I did was with VOD, and I was interviewing Tim, and like I was just writing stuff down. I didn't have a recorder with me, and he was like, "Oh, what kind of website is it?" And I was like, "Oh, it's not up yet." So, but yeah, it's tough with it, but yeah, no, it's pretty wild though yeah, with how far and I guess with yeah, and just with the bands and kind of seeing things, New Jersey has a lot of interaction with each other, so a lot of different band members and all that. So
Oh yeah, I'm definitely ready to be out there and call it my home. Like my fiance, I love her to death. She tells me all the time because she's been having like baby fever lately. She's like, our kids are not growing up in Iowa; they're growing up in Jersey. I was like, this okay, I get it. Is she
yeah,
like I'm ready for like that next chapter of my life because like my whole life I've lived in the Midwest and like I don't want to be known as the boy who just lived in Iowa because there's not much besides Slipknot. We have big, and I
it's,
was all like this. I'm gonna be the next big thing to come out of Iowa besides like Slipknot and maybe Seth Rollins from wrestling.
no, come by New Jersey. Again, it's a great place. I've lived here my whole life. Yeah, I love it. I used to travel a lot for work, and yeah, I don't see myself living anywhere else. So yeah, very much New Jersey for life. Very big advocate for it. So yeah.
So my, my question is, have you ever heard of this thing called bro bro? Do you hear that a lot in Jersey?
Like a saying is in
Like
like
someone going
people.
up to you like this, "What's up, bro bro?" Is that a Jersey thing or a New York thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like it might be a generational thing. It might be that also because there's like I don't know, like 6, 7. I don't know what the hell that means. So, but like there's definitely people that'll come up and be like, "Hey, bro, like whatever, like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very not much into slang. I'm very outside of it. Yeah, I mean, even like internet slang, I don't even know. But yeah, but it sounds like something that would come out of here though. So
I had to ask because like Anthony from the guitarist from Waking the Cadaver, loved that dude to death. Like he kept calling me bro. I was like, is that slang for something? Someone who lives on the East Coast. Is he saying something I need to be worried about, or is it good?
yeah, I don't think it's yeah, I'm not familiar with it, but I don't know, it doesn't sound bad to me. So
So I don't think I have any more questions for you, boss. Appreciate you doing this.
yeah, no
Thank you
problem.
for
Yeah.
being the first interview of the new year. Sorry, my co-host couldn't be here. He's actually, I think, setting up for his band today,
Oh,
which
awesome.
if you haven't heard of them, definitely check them out. They're called 12 Gauge Autopsy. They're three dudes. It's like a younger version of Dying Fetus.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, that's yeah, I'll check it out for sure. Yeah, no, I've heard the name, but I think I heard you mention them before. I think on one of the other interviews. But yeah, oh, no, I'll definitely check them out. Always interested in hearing new music. It's amazing to hear. Yeah, it's amazing. One of the things I was going to say was like with kind of with like us coming back and starting to play again after so long of a break. What was kind of shocking to me and was kind of amazing was also seeing all of the newer bands, like coming out with, having some of these influences, like Dying Fetus, for example. But no, it's amazing to actually see that. And it's great to see like younger generations, kind of carrying that on and taking it to the next level. So it's
Oh yeah,
definitely,
definitely get ready. I won't be in Jersey till 2027. Hopefully, my best friend doesn't listen to this episode because he doesn't know yet. But like that's the goal. I'll be in Jersey 2027. I'm working for a venue right now to get my union license for working at venues, doing stagehand work. So I'll be hopefully working for a venue out in Jersey, and my fiance, love her to death. She has her license now to work with autistic kids. She's a behavioral therapist,
awesome.
so she could take that anywhere, and we'll be in Jersey full time.
That's great. Yeah, and for the venue, let me know. Shoot me a message when you start getting to that point, because our bass player Austin, he's worked at Starland Ballroom for like 15 years. So I don't know if they're like if they have a union there or anything like that, but he might be able to know people, to kind of steer you in a direction. But there's a lot of good venues out here, a lot of like bigger ones. Yeah, so even outside of like say like Starland or like House of Independence or one of those. I mean, there's also like MetLife. I mean, we have like stuff like that where those bigger venues that are like running all year round. So, but yeah, definitely let me know if you need any contacts on that because I'd be happy to help.
Will do. All right. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna done
Thanks, you too.
recording.
Yeah, thanks.
The Wild Man.